Scene script. Have you ever paused to consider the impact games have on humanity? It's a question that might seem out of place in an era where gaming has become an integral part of our daily lives. In today's digital age, gaming has evolved from a mere recreational pastime to a cultural phenomenon, captivating the hearts and minds of millions across the globe. From the visually stunning landscapes of The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, to the adrenaline-pumping action in Call of Duty Warzone, the world of gaming offers a diverse array of experiences that cater to all tastes and preferences. Yet, as we immerse ourselves in these fantastical worlds, do we stop to consider the potential ramifications? Do we contemplate the consequences that our gaming habits might have on our personal lives, our relationships, and our society as a whole? This isn't about pointing fingers at individual games or painting the entire industry with a broad brush. Rather, it's about instigating a conversation that many seem reluctant to have, a conversation about the gaming conundrum. For every compelling narrative, like in Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a rising concern about the way games might distort our perception of reality. For every cooperative endeavor in Among Us or Fortnite, there's a worry about how competition can breed toxicity. For every peaceful moment in Animal Crossing, New Horizons, or Stardew Valley, there's a question mark over the amount of time we spend in these virtual worlds, often at the expense of our real-world responsibilities. So, let's not shy away from this conversation. Let's embrace it. Let's scrutinize the impact these games are having on us individually and collectively. Whether it's the violence in Doom Eternal and Resident Evil Village, the addictive nature of Genshin Impact and Apex Legends, or the unrealistic expectations set by games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's high time we took a closer look at these issues. Prepare to delve deep into the world of gaming and explore its darker side. Consider the games The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and The Witcher 3. These titles, lauded for their expansive worlds and intricate storytelling, can also become a double-edged sword. One edge of this sword is the sheer amount of time these games require. With hundreds of hours of gameplay, players can easily lose themselves in these virtual landscapes for extended periods. This excessive time consumption can lead to a potential addiction, with players prioritizing their virtual quests over real-life responsibilities. The other edge of the sword is the allure of escapism. These games offer players an opportunity to live an alternate life, a life filled with epic adventures and heroic deeds. This can create a disconnect, as players may start to prefer their fantasy lives over their real ones, leading to social isolation and a distorted sense of reality. These games can trap players in a fantasy world, making it challenging to return to reality. Scene script. Then we have Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk 2077. These games are known for their immersive narratives and compelling graphics, but they're also notorious for their violent content. Now, it's important to note that not all gamers are negatively affected by this violence. However, for some, repeated exposure to such graphic content can lead to a desensitization to violence. It's as though the line between the virtual and the real starts to blur, and the shocking becomes the mundane. Moreover, studies have suggested a correlation between violent video games and increased aggression. While this doesn't mean that every gamer will become aggressive, it's a potential risk that we cannot ignore. The world of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk 2077 is filled with guns, fights, and lawlessness, and the frequent interaction with such elements could potentially alter our behavior. The violence in these games can influence our perception of aggression in reality. What about Among Us and Fortnite? Now, these are games that thrive on competition, pushing players to outsmart, outplay, and outlast each other. But what's the cost of this relentless rivalry? The high-stakes, win-at-all-costs mentality can breed stress, often transforming a leisure activity into an obsession. There's a darker side to this competitive edge as well. The desire to win can sometimes give rise to toxic behavior as players resort to unfair tactics, verbal abuse, or even cyberbullying to gain an advantage. This isn't just confined to the virtual world either. The effects can spill over into real life, affecting relationships, mental health, and overall well-being. Moreover, the constant need to keep up with the competition can lead to an unhealthy fixation on the game, detracting from other important aspects of life like education, work, or social interactions. The competitive nature of these games can push players to their limits, often to their detriment. Then there's Minecraft and Animal Crossing. These life simulation games are a unique breed, immersing players in a virtual world that mirrors many aspects of our day-to-day lives. They offer an escape, a chance to live an alternate life without leaving the comfort of our homes. But as enchanting as these vibrant virtual landscapes may be, they come with their own set of potential pitfalls. The line between virtual and real life can become blurred. Players can become so engrossed in these simulated worlds that they begin to neglect responsibilities in their actual lives. The time spent building virtual homes, cultivating digital friendships, and striving for in-game success can easily overshadow the pursuit of real-world achievements. Furthermore, these games create an illusion of control that is often lacking in real life. This can lead to an unhealthy attachment to the virtual world where everything can be manipulated with a click or a swipe. These games can make us forget about our real life as we get absorbed in our virtual one. It's crucial to remember that games are just that, games. They're designed to entertain, to captivate, and yes, sometimes to challenge us, but it's essential to keep in mind that they're not substitutes for the tangible world that exists outside our screens. We can't underscore enough the importance of being conscious of our gaming habits. Like any other form of entertainment, it's all too easy to lose ourselves in these virtual worlds. The immersive landscapes of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, the adrenaline-fueled battlegrounds of Call of Duty Warzone, the peaceful simplicity of Stardew Valley, they all offer an escape, a break from the mundane or stressful aspects of daily life. But it's a delicate balance. We need to ensure that we're not allowing these games to usurp our real-world responsibilities. That term paper that's due next week, that job interview you've been preparing for, that family dinner you promised to attend, they should always take precedence. Games are meant to supplement our lives, not dominate them. It's vital to establish boundaries and stick to them. Set a timer perhaps, or designate specific hours of the day for gaming. Make it a point to take regular breaks, to stretch, to hydrate, to interact with the physical world around you. Remember, it's not just about limiting the time you spend gaming, but also about ensuring that the time you do spend is healthy and balanced. It's about recognizing when a game is no longer just a game, but has become a detrimental obsession. In the grand scheme of things, it's all about balance. Balancing the virtual with the real, the fantasy with the reality, the game with the life. It's about understanding that while games can offer a momentary escape, they can't and shouldn't replace our real-life experiences and responsibilities. Take control of your gaming habits and remember, life is the ultimate game. Don't get lost in the virtual world.